Hi, it's DelusionDispeller. I'm going to have to talk kind of loud because the neighbors are mowing their grass and you probably won't be able to hear me. So, number 8, figure out what is the most important and go for that. Never settle. My eldest daughter taught me that one. Mom, are you settling? She always asks me that. Are you settling for this guy? Are you really giving up your morals, your values, your dreams, your hopes for this dude? She would always ask me that when I was dating. And the rule was always they needed to approve the person before I could be with them. I have 4 daughters. That's their rule. Anyhow, maybe you don't have children, so that wouldn't be a rule for you. But that is my daughter's rule for me. So figure out what is the most important thing to you. And don't settle for anything less than what is important for you. In my marriage, we talk about priorities when it comes to finances and planning. Doesn't always go the way that I'd like it to, but we discuss it. You gotta have somebody that you can talk with, somebody that you can work things out with, compromise, etc. And it works a lot better that way. So figure out where your hopes, desires, dreams, intentions are. Stick with that. Don't settle for somebody that doesn't go along with that. That's number 8. Number 9, have the drop in a bucket mentality. This is something that I told my little daughter a long time ago. She had a lot of trouble with bullying in school and things like that, and she would come home and say, well, so-and-so said this about me. I said, 2 things. Number 1, it's a drop in a bucket. She'd say, what do you mean by that, Mommy? I'd say, well, if you take a big bucket and there's water in it, and you drip a drop in it, it's a drop in a bucket. And that's all your problem is. In the big scheme of things in your whole life, that's a drop in a bucket. And if you view it as just this tiny thing, instead of this huge monumental problem, tragedy, travesty, then you'll be able to better process it and look at it in a sensible way. So, drop in a bucket mentality. The other thing I told her was, if somebody said something mean about her, I'd say, is that true about you? Are you a big baby or whatever they would say about her? And she'd say, no. I'd say, so are you telling me that their opinion of you is more important than your opinion of you? Or God's opinion of you? Or your friend's opinion of you that cares about you and loves you? Well, no. So you're not a baby and their opinion isn't more important, then what is the problem? And she'd be like, I guess I don't have one. And she'd walk away. It's all in your perception on how you perceive things. People are going to say garbage about you. Believe me, I have a YouTube channel. I know this probably better than a lot of people do that don't have channels. People are always going to say stuff. They're always going to be flaming you, blaming you, trying to make you look bad, trying to say you're not credentialed enough, trying to say you're a fake, a phony, whatever. You know who you are. Then nobody else is going to sway you. All right. Let's see. So that came from my youngest daughter, Amber, the drop in the bucket. Because she remembers that to this day, that I told her that. And she uses it throughout her life now when she has problems. So no matter how upset we are, we realize that tomorrow is a new day, and we don't hold grudges against each other. It's probably why we're still together 3 years later, almost 3 years later. All right, number 10, last one. If you are finally narcissist free, take calculated risks. Don't sit there and say, well, I got hurt, so I'm never going to trust or love again. Baloney. You will. You can. I mean, unless you choose not to. I can't tell you to. But if you really want a relationship, not everybody is a jerk out there. Not everybody is a narcissist. Trust me, there are decent people. You just have to learn the signs of narcissism. Avoid them. Leave at the first inclination of one. And bam. Then just start looking for people that don't have those traits. Make yourself a list of all the things that you love, that you want in a relationship, and then look for that person. On my husband's and I think it was our first or second date, probably first date, I took him to Village Inn. I had a big long list of questions to ask him to make sure he lined up with what I was looking for. And I pulled that list out. I mean a physical list, pages and pages of one. And we talked about it. We discussed it before he was even my boyfriend. Like my boyfriend. You need to do that. It may seem silly. It may make the other person think you're nuts. It doesn't matter. At least I knew what I was getting when I got into it at that point. Because I had those questions written out. looked at them on the paper later on and said, can I live with this? What's a deal breaker? What am I not willing to put up with? You need to do that. Write it out. Bring it with you on your date and start talking. If they can't talk to you, or they're like, oh, come on, this is just a date, I don't want to talk about this, drop them like a bag of hot rocks, like I told you earlier. They're not worth it. And remember, there are good people in the world. Not everybody's going to hurt you or stab you in the back. That's something that my husband said to tell you. He learned that there are people that actually do care through me, caring about him, that I'm not out to hurt him. I may do things he doesn't agree with, but ultimately I love him and I'm there for him, and I've stuck with him through a lot of rough situations. So just because you've been hurt doesn't mean you'll be hurt again. That's about it. And you wanted me to talk about my marriage. My marriage is a work in progress. We have not arrived. We are still learning the ins and outs of blending two very different lives together and taking two similarities and making them work together to build a beautiful union. Marriage is hard. It's work. It's tough. Sometimes it's annoying. We get mad at each other sometimes. We both have issues from our past abuses that we're working through. Living with somebody with post-traumatic stress means you have to sometimes tread very lightly in things that with other people you can just say what you want. You can't with somebody with PTSD. They get very touchy, hypersensitive, triggered. Somebody that's bipolar, their moods go different ways, so you're not always sure what you're getting in the person. Say hi to Morgan. She came over. She just loves cameras, don't you, Morgan? Not really. Anyways, yeah, so, anyway. I don't know what else to say. Ask me specific questions about my marriage. I'm happy to answer them. My life's an open book. If I can help you in any way, my name is Laura Beth Culbert. DelusionDispeller@gmail.com is my email address. And I have a Facebook you can tap into if you want. Just ask me for the information. I'm here for you. I'm a life coach. And I'll do what I can to help. Have a great day. Remember, eyes wide open, moving forward. Oh, by the way, I have 2 ebooks now, both on Amazon Kindle. They're like $6.95 each or something like that. Go check them out. You can read like excerpts from them for free and decide if it's for you. One is on intermittent fasting, and the other one is called Eyes Wide Open, Moving Forward, and it's about narcissism. It might be helpful to you. I don't know. Anyway, check it out. Amazon Kindle. If you need the information, write me at DelusionDispeller@gmail.com or drop me a line below. I always read my comments. And remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word. Let people know about my channel. Thanks for your contribution, for your attendance, and for your loyalty. Have a great day. God bless. Bye.